My name is Vanilla Dasgupta and I am author of Two Pink Lights. I want to read you a letter. Dear Aunt Flo, I am writing to you now as I feel we have developed quite an intimate relationship over these past years. In fact, it's been 25 years since we were first introduced. I've enjoyed your presence in my life, especially during my college years when I was rather wild at times and then regretted it later. Yes, it was a relief to see you in those days. In fact, when I look back over the years, it's rather funny to remember all the times you turned up unexpectedly, just before I went skinny dipping with Jay. The day I wore the all-white dress during my finals. Wow, you certainly picked your moments. While it is true that we have been somewhat codependent on each other over these past couple of years, I feel that your visits have become more unwelcome, contradictory to what I want. Consider it a phase I'm going through. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, nor do I want you to prevent you from visiting later. But right now, I need a break. Perhaps you could visit others during this time. Cousin Jane is 13 and anxiously worrying if you were going to visit her. In fact, she keeps asking me about you. And then there is my sister Claire. She told me that your visits are sporadic and irregular. She would love it if you would visit her. In fact, she told me that she has a terrible time without you. So, you see, there are many places you are wanted and needed right now. Folks more needy than I. And I hope you will consider them to be viable options. Once again, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the distant future. Signed, Vanilla. Millions of women go through this process every month, grieving that they have a period and hoping that they miss their period. But month after month, their period turns up. And that is a point of grief. And that's what this chapter is about, grieving. So I believe that there are two types of grief, clean grief and dirty grief. Clean grief is sort of when you grieve about the events, that you had your period this month and you would hope that you wouldn't, that the treatment failed and you'd hope that it would work. That is what it means to grieve about the events, limited to just the events. And then there's dirty grief. Dirty grief is sort of when you take that to mean something about you. Examples of that would be that you are the failure, not the treatment. That you are to blame, nobody or anything else. And that you are ashamed, as opposed to it's a shame that the treatment didn't work. You want to keep your grief clean. And in the book, I talk about how to do that. I give you exercises and tips and ways to work through your grief to make sure that you're grieving about the events and not taking it to mean something personal about yourself. One important tip to remember, if you forget many other things, is that you want to ask yourself when you do sort of engage in dirty grieving, is it true? Is it true that you are the failure? Is it true that you are to blame? Ask yourself these questions and challenge those thoughts and keep challenging them. I'll talk more about this later. Thank you. Bye-bye.